怎么说呢？这就每天上课啊。
Is this Taiwanese slang?
Yeah.
Relax.
躺平。那你有什么学中国的？
大家好，好久不见。Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma, and about a year and a half ago, I started learning Mandarin. I actively studied it for about 6 months before taking a year off. The reason we're here today making this video is because in 2 weeks' time, I'm meeting my college best friend who is Taiwanese, and we also lived in the same flat for 3 years. And the last time I met her was a year and a half ago, and at the time, I had only been learning Mandarin for about 2 months, and I was able to surprise her with a little bit of Mandarin that I knew back at the time. Now, fast forward a year and a half to the present, I can't show up without having made any progress since then. And if you're wondering, Emma, what's with all the plants in the background? Today is actually the first day of the Lunar New Year. We are officially in the Year of the Horse. So what better occasion than now to restart this process of learning Mandarin? This first couple days, my plan is to just listen to Mandarin podcasts again to get the gears going, get my brain reaccustomed to thinking and processing in Mandarin, as well as getting my ears used to the sounds again. I'm going back to my holy grail of a resource, and that is Lazy Chinese, a podcast channel here on YouTube with videos for ultimate beginners all the way through advanced. Basically, there's a video for everyone. I used to just listen to their podcasts on YouTube, but this time around, I found out that they actually have a website where they have the entire transcripts for these videos. You can turn on the pinyin as well, and whenever you glide over new words, it comes up with the definitions in English, which I find to be incredibly useful. For me, not having the subtitles directly on the screen was a little bit jarring at first, but then you do get used to not seeing them, and you learn to rely more on your ears to differentiate the sounds rather than relying on your eyes to read the subtitles. I don't know about you guys, but something just feels incredibly off when I'm learning Chinese and not practice how to write. Like, I came into this thinking that maybe I just practice my listening and my speaking skills, because that's basically all you need for oral communication, right? But something doesn't feel right. And so now I'm just going through the HSK1, HSK2, HSK3 word lists, going through the motions of writing again. I feel like I'm using my writing muscles to jog a different part of my memory. To be honest, I never think it's a bad idea to revisit one of these video tutorials every once in a while to practice your handwriting, your hanzi, because for me, I think what makes my handwriting look kind of off and maybe primary schoolish is because my proportions are funny. So watching these videos helped me work on my proportions for the different radicals and elements in Hanzi a little bit more. And as for listening to podcasts, if you've been around this channel for a while, you already know the drill. Yes, after a couple days, a couple sessions of just listening to the audio, I started incorporating shadowing again, which is where I repeat after what is being said in real time.
今天的 Lazy Chinese 的播客，
今天
我
觉得台湾人一定对中国大陆有很多想法，有很多问题。那我想知道，白兰老师，你有没有去过中国大陆？没有。I do this while looking at the transcript in Pinyin, and this allows me to engage multiple of my senses at the same time and really helps me recall the vocab and the concepts that I had learned before. This is Hannah, by the way, you guys. You might have seen her on the channel a couple times before. We have a pretty special story. I tutored her English when she was a junior in high school, and when she became a senior, we started learning Mandarin together. So we were classmates, and her mom was our teacher. She has since graduated high school, gone off to Beijing to study language, and after a semester in college, she's back for Lunar New Year. âm nên là sẽ cần một cái như là segment.
Chị có không?
Chị có đấy.
Chuyên nghiệp quá đi mất.
Tại vì giọng chị nó không bắt tốt ở trên camera ấy, nên là thường là chị sẽ phải thêm một cái mic.
Mình đang nói chuyện rồi.
Nó đang ghi âm rồi.
Wow.
See, when you're least expecting. 你在北京的生活是怎么样的？
我觉得很方便。怎么说呢？就是每天上课，我就是我觉得一个人在的也很好，然后就是每天都能做所有的决定，然后就是去什么喝什么，跟谁约会，一起去吃饭那种之类的。还有地铁，我非常喜欢地铁。我在北大，所以我有那个北大的校园卡，然后它能让我用公共自行车1年免费的。
对啊。
对。怎么说？很轻松呀。
It's like 你住在中国，但是不真的中国，因为你有很多外国人的朋友。你的朋友是外国人？
就是他们不是越南人，然后去外面的时候，大家都是中国人。感觉一个人是越南人。You don't feel the feeling of like belonging to that place.
It's okay. Like when I was in America, I had a culture shock for 1 year. And then in my second year, there was no more culture shock left to be shocked by. So it took me 1 year to like fully adapt to like life in a foreign country. So you're only like what 6 months in. So
yeah.
今年的冬天是你第一次看到了雪。
对。
How do you feel?
哇，我觉得非常的感动。我到18岁，我终于看到这么多水，我又能跟朋友玩水，就是扔的那个水球。
我听你懂，但是我回答你有点难。It's like a podcast, but in real life, you speak so much faster now. 就是我拿了这个早上了，就是
因为习惯了。
But yeah, I still understand you when I listen to you, so it's good.
那你听力已经很好啊。因为你就是所有的我说的话你都能懂。
觉得你用的单词文不那么不太 complicated. It's not too complicated.
不太复杂。
不太复杂。
复杂。
Look, the student is becoming the teacher, teaching me Mandarin.
就是因为以前你也教我英文啊，我得到这种水平也是您教的。就是我现在使用的单词没有中国人那么复杂。我觉得是因为我是越南人，我的水平还没达到那种很高的水平，所以我用的词也比较简单。
我觉得你可以你可以用简单的单词是一个很好的点。
是吗？
因为 I mean, at the end of the day, it's communication, right?
Yeah, true.
You hear someone who speaks in like English B2 all the time. It sounds so high-strung. It sounds so complicated and tiring.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think being able to explain yourself in simple terms is a very good skill to have. Like, yes, you'll keep on getting better levels in Chinese, but I hope you still retain the ability to explain things simply.
就是跟你说的那样，就是 at the end of the day is communication.
Yeah.
两个人都懂，这是目的地了，达到了目的，达到了目的，达到目的呀。
Wow, you got so good. It's 6 months. We have documented your Chinese level.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Yeah.
From our trip to China.
Yeah.
And then like after you took your HSK3, we did another video. And then now, so like every step of your journey.
A documentary. Oh my goodness.
After 4 years, I pulled together all your footage.
Wow. Interview 在这里就好了，
很好。
完了。那拜拜哦，
拜拜，
拜拜，尝这个茶呀。
Over this final week, this was basically the routine that I stuck to, writing the characters and listening to podcasts. I spent an average of about 45 minutes per day, which I feel like is a pretty realistic amount of time. All the characters that I could retain were the ones I had practiced before, like a year ago. And for any new characters that I encountered this time round, I have not practiced them nearly enough for my hands to remember how to write them. As for podcasts, the vocab and expressions that I encounter there go straight into my passive vocabulary, meaning that if I listen to other podcasts, I can understand these new words and expressions, but they have yet to come into my active vocabulary, meaning when I speak. Even though this vocab is repeated a lot over the same podcast, I still have trouble actively remembering them. Whereas for the few short conversations that I had with Hannah, those were much more effective. Like, she taught me a couple words and I remember them so clearly. So I guess you can't fake a conversation, you just have to have one for those reflexes to develop.
The library thingy has started, and then you wanna...
好，你比较喜欢蜘蛛人还是超人？然后为什么？
What? 那个
超人。
超人，
那为什么？
因为我可以飞，
哦，
我觉得可以飞。
那你比较喜欢一样嘛？喜欢意大利面还是披萨？然后为什么？
我喜欢意大利面，因为我可以自己做。
如果你有this is really hard。如果你有超能力 superpower，会是什么
？Teleportation，
瞬间移动，或是 shorter 瞬移。
因为我可以在这里去那，不能等。
很快的去别的地方。
好啊。
对不对？
对。
好啊 is like okay. Do you want to go here? 好啊。对 it's like I agree with you.
对。
那你有什么学中国的，不学台湾或是香港或是新加坡或是马来西亚的中文？为什么要学中国的中文？
很多的人用中国的中文。
有吗？
中国的人口很大。
中国的人很喜欢台湾人讲话。
真的吗？
真的。每次我去中国，他们都说哇，你是台湾人呢，讲话好可爱。像你们北越的人喜欢南越的人，他们觉得很可爱。中文永远学不完，永远。
Not finish. You can never finish.
永远学不，没办法学完。中文真的太难了。
平时 is normal, right? Normally. 平时你教中文吗？还是
不教，只教英文。因为台湾的中文比较不流行。
你喜欢教英文吗？
不喜欢呢。
为什么？
很无聊。我喜欢跟人玩。Compare to Chinese，有英文比较多东西可以讲吗？
你可以决定的话，你要做什么？
躺平。
relax。
躺平。
躺平。Is this Taiwanese slang?
Yeah.
躺平。Speak very fast.
No. Super slow.
Can you speak in normal speed? 你觉得马来西亚怎么样？
最开始我没有抱什么期待，就我觉得马来西亚有点怎么说呢？就是因为我之前去过新加坡嘛，所以我觉得马来西亚对我来说就是一个比较退步的新加坡。
Just know that you're comparing Malaysia with Singapore.
Good job. 然后就大家都说马来西亚。I think this is like my normal speed, but when I'm excited, I talk even faster.
I think I'm also not used to listening to Taiwanese.
Yeah. 好了，我们是面谈到此结束。本人要去运个动了。
听不懂。
我说 Today, our meeting has come to an ending. I would say her level is really, really high. Higher than I expected. Like, 哇，她连那个什么 我想一下，他刚刚讲一些很厉害的几个字，我想一下，文化他知道，你们还有一些什么，如果我可以什么什么的话，他都知道，所以他的 level 很高，太厉害了。学霸
Really?
学霸学渣 conqueror of the academic world.
Oh, I've heard this before. Someone's taught me this before.
Yeah, 学霸
No, also 学霸
超屌，
很聪明。
他超顶。
I will try to do the subtitles.
You can ask me.
I will 谢谢老师，
不能当老师的老师，
你是今天的老师。
谢谢。
In Vietnamese, we say, if someone teaches you one word, they're your teacher.
Wow.
Even just one word, they're always your teacher. Yeah.
I like that. 下课。
下课下课
老师要下课了。
下课。
老师下班。